Finally, the postseason is here and it's time for a supersized edition of The Big Call. Let's head east, James. There's no Ben Simmons, but how do the Nets stop the big man mountain Joel Embiid?
I don't know. They pray. But no, seriously, the Ben Simmons bowl without Ben Simmons is very Ben Simmons, doesn't it feel? But this is a tricky one, right? You got the Sixers with the absolute superstar, my MVP, Joel Embiid, in the middle. How do the Nets slow him down? They're going to throw switches at him. They're one of the most switchy defenses in the NBA. This is the 16th ranked defense. So look, they do have a bit of a chance at slowing them down, but they just don't have the size. It's really, really tough if you can't throw just at least another big giant dude at Joel Embiid. They just don't have it. They've got Nick Claxton, who's a really good defender, but he just doesn't have the size, the girth around him to slow down big Joel Embiid. So you'll see a lot of that sort of switching coverage, throw a lot of doubles. They've got a lot of lengthy wings on that Sixers team, on that Nets team to take on this Sixers team. So I think they'll try to slow down James Harden, who's already dealing with an injury. My key for this series, I think, is actually Tyrese Maxey. I think he'll absolutely have himself a time. He's going to go absolutely ham. I think the Sixers will be sitting and go, right, if we're getting Harden shut down, Embiid's just facing so many different looks, Maxey will be free and clear to do whatever he needs to. So I think what we'll see, Mikal Bridges out there in the Nets, he should be absolutely smashing this, but they've got no other real scorers. Spencer Dinwiddie, pretty handy, running the show, but I do think the Sixers pretty easily win the series, probably a gentleman's sweep, shall we say, 4-1. So for game one, I'm going to have to go Joel Embiid for 30-plus points, 12-plus rebounds, 5-plus assists. Mikal Bridges, as we want to call him, 30-plus points, and a Sixers win at home at Wells Fargo in Philly. It's a bit of a tricky one though, Jack.
Won 7 of their last 8 at Wells Fargo, so it's a pretty good record going in. Good luck, Nick Claxton. That's all I'll say. They've got no way I can see of stopping Joel Embiid.
All right, I'm going to stay with you, Jack, because the Knicks and the Cavs is shaping as the what-if series. And I say that because what if the Knicks had traded Donovan Mitchell if they had the chance?
Wow. This is going to be one of those things that we'll never quite know, will we? But I'm fascinated to see the defensively minded Cavs versus the offensively minded Knicks. Now, when these two come together in a playoff situation, historically it's the defensive end of the floor that wins out, even though we're seeing scores in the 120s most of the season here in the NBA. But this is the one that, to me, isn't clear at all, where we've got others that are pretty straightforward. I've got the Cavs, even though I said the Knicks are the great story of the season, but with no great confidence, James.
I got to agree with that because, look, the Cavs are awesome, right? They've got the best defense in the NBA. They've got the big two, the thin towers, we call them, Evan Mobley and Jarrett Go-the-Throw-Allen. But they've also got the scoring. They've got Donnie Mitchell. They've got Darius Rucker-Judy Garland. Just call him Darius Garland. It's fine. But they've got so much scoring power in that backcourt, and they've got so much defense in the front court that it's going to be really tough for this Knicks team. With Julius Randle, he should be back for this series, coming back from his ankle injury, but he's coming back from an ankle injury. Julius Randle alone can't really sort of put up enough to slow down this Cavs team. Jalen Brunson's going to be a key here for them, obviously. You've got RJ Barrett, but I just can't see the Knicks scoring enough on this Cavs team to slow them down. So for this first game, I think we've got Donnie Mitchell going massive. You talk about this being the what-if series. What if Donnie Mitchell was on the Knicks? It'd be awesome. He'd be lighting up MSG. He's going to do it anyway. When they get to games 3 and 4, Donnie Mitchell's going to go absolutely ham and just bury them. And I think it starts with game 1. I want 40 points for Donnie Mitchell in game 1. He was on a recent tear, ripped off 4 straight. So 40 points for Donnie. Evan Mobley has been tearing it up. Maybe a bit of a defensive player of the year candidate. 15 points for him, 10 plus rebounds. And Jalen Brunson for the Knicks. He's going to have to steady the ship. 25 points for him, 8 plus rebounds. You probably throw some threes in there as well. But Cleveland win game 1 pretty handily, I think. And again, I don't think this series is going to be as tight as you might think there, Jack. I think this one might be a bit of a 4-1, 4-2. Knicks still won at MSG, pretty similar to how they played Atlanta a couple of years ago, where there's a lot of hype and everyone's up and about, but the better team smashes them in the end.
All right, that was the big call, and that was a little disagreement between our two experts. James, Jack, outstanding work today. Remember to subscribe below and follow us on socials. Enjoy the play-ins and the playoffs, and we'll see you again next week.
The betting brand for sports fans. That's better. Chances are you're about to lose.